Hi, welcome to episode 30 of Tennis Volley Talk with Brian Danielson. Hey, this week, don't have too much anything going on as far as any interviews with anybody, but that will come, I'm sure, with what I try to get interviews with and who I get interviews with. Anyway, but this week, kind of what I talk about is the thanking Colin Robertson for doing the phone interview for my last episode. That was really, really a great time interviewing him and finding his insights out of what he did in growing up in Oklahoma for as long as he did. And that's where my tennis roots are from, Tulsa, Oklahoma. And also coming from Sydney, Australia, and moving and going to college in Oklahoma City University. I really wanted to thank him very much for allowing me to do that interview with him. I did also get off to him some pictures of some events that I was telling him about and some of my cards that I have. So hopefully one of those cards might get into a pro's hand. Who knows? I don't know. But also what I want to talk about too is some of the older rackets that you see here behind me back then were strung so much more different than what they are today. Today they're strung with polyfilament strings, and just to have a better feel, more power, like that with the newer brand of strings that you have with that. But also with some of the strings in the older rackets that are up there, they used to have what they would call, and what they'd string with, they would call cow gut, which is really comes from the intestines of a cow, and it's a 100% natural gut, and then that was used in the early 1960s for that use, and it would take, and to produce enough material for the strings used to complete a racket would be 2 cows to complete 1 racket of stringing of cow gut strings with that. And that was kind of what the strings were made from, is cow intestines. But also before that, others thought their strings were made from cat gut, but that is a myth. People thought that, and it's a myth, or a legend, I should say, that made up in England is where it is actually made up in. In the Middle Ages is when it was kind of made up. Certain Welsh troubadours, they would carry a single stringed instrument that sounded like a cat's meow when played with a bow. The English called this instrument cat. The stringing made from intestines, then thus slated to gut. So their instrument was called the cat gut. The chords, cat chords is what it was called. So that's kind of where it kind of came from, is from that particular instrument, because it did sound like a cat's meow when struck with a bow. It was made from intestines, and the intestines actually were then not made from cat. And then that's really the legend spread. However, the first strings for tennis and badminton rackets were made of natural sheep gut, and also it was used as surgical sutures too back in the day too. for dissolvable sutures for sutures in surgery. Yeah, but I did have a friend of mine that actually was allergic. He had a finger that was hurt and damaged, cut, and went in and had catgut surgical sutures on the finger, and got all infected. They had to clean it out, and then they had to go with a different suture with trying to get their finger all taken care of. But they ended up being okay, and the finger was not it was okay after that in playing in having that done surgical wise. But yeah, that's where actually kind of like I said, the myth of catgut was not really actually from cats. It was actually sheep intestines that were made to do tennis stringing and also surgical procedures back in the day for doctors and everything like that. So with that is kind of where actually the older rackets like this, they did have the cat guts and catgut or cow gut mostly. That started back in the about 1960s or so with the cow intestines. That it would take that two cows to make string, make one racket stringing for you and stuff. And nowadays it's such a different variety of different kind of strings that you can use that have the different spin to them, and you can also have the like different feel for the racket too, the feel for the ball, and also like that. But some of the reason why you'd like to use the natural gut strings too is it was very expensive back then. But it wouldn't last that long either, because if you had a lot of spin, it wouldn't last much more than 10, 15 times, and then you'd break the string. But you had a better ball control with the natural gut because you could feel the ball coming into the strings a lot better. And this is kind of why people like the natural gut feel of those kind of strings back then too, for having that and a better feel for the ball in directing it, and just having a better feel. But that's kind of why people like to play with it back then. Yeah, but now it's all, like I said, so much more high tech, and they still use natural gut, but you really wouldn't want to use it consistently because it is so expensive and it doesn't last very long. So better go with always go with the more of the poly kind of strings that are combination strings that make it feel like it's really natural gut, but it really isn't. So it does last a lot longer in some of the strings that you have out there too, with that. But also with that too, I just want to bring up also with you YouTubers, like I said, if you're seeing what I'm talking about, if you like that, subscribe to my channel, leave a comment of what you might want me to say. With that, also, the racket of the day will be coming up pretty soon. And for you podcasters out there, if you do want to see what I'm talking about, you can always go to my YouTube channel, Tennis Volley Talk, and subscribe and make a comment with that, if you so please, and let me know what you like of what you're seeing in my podcast as far as the tennis goes, with that too. Yeah, I've never played with any of the natural gut strings before. But I always had back in the day, the old nylon strings, pretty much stick to that still today. Don't go with any of the natural feel of strings or the poly grip strings or whatever it might be. It might improve my game. I don't know, but it might. But with that, I just wanted to at least let you know kind of a little history of of what strings they used to play with some of the rackets that are behind me right now of my collection that I have. Also with that too, now today what I'm going to do, and for you also the YouTubers out there, you're going to see the racket of the day here coming. For you podcasters, you're going to be able to see the racket of the day that I have. And it's a really nice looking racket today. And with that, go to my channel, subscribe, you YouTubers, subscribe, comment, like, you podcasters. If you, like I said, if you want to see what I'm talking about with the racket of the day, just go to my YouTube channel, go to Tennis of Volley Talk, and then subscribe, like, comment. At least let me know where you want me to go or what you want me to cover on any of this stuff. And also, if you do like the over the phone interviews that I have done, which I think I have done quite a few that have ended up being pretty good with whom I've talked to and have gotten a hold of with that, and being able to talk to them about their tennis careers and everything. So the likes of Jeremy at the John Newcomb Tennis Ranch in New Braunfels, Texas, talking about John Newcomb and how he got started. And then also Cliff Price, the owner of the tennis shop Totally Tennis, that I interviewed. And that was such a fun interview too, knowing that. And then Frank Ward not too long ago. So always been fun for me to do that. I really have liked it. And I just want to continue doing it. And like I said, if anybody wants to subscribe and like and comment, let me know what you want me to hear, what you want me to say, or any more history, or do you like the interviews, or what do you think? Just trying to get some feedback with you and kind of finding out where you might be at, where you want me to go with some of this. Always open for your suggestions on that too. And with that, no further ado here, I'm going to go here. This is actually a called a Reliance racket. It's actually a Wright-Ditson company racket that was founded in 1871 by George Wright, a baseball Hall of Famer and Boston businessman. And that's where it kind of was founded. I had baseball clothes and sporting good clothes and stuff, and got into the rackets back in the day. And then, they had many of the names like the Reliance of the Reliance, the racket was, and made by Wright-Ditson, but also a patent October 30th, 1923, which then this October, this racket will be 100 years old. So it's still in pretty good shape for that age, I'm sure, with that too. And they had many names like that too, like the Sears and then the Campbell racket and the Reliance racket. They just have different names for each brand, each of the rackets that they came out with just different brand names on them. Like the Davis brand, Tad Davis. That was the Imperial, and then the Imperial Deluxe, and different brands of the Davis racket too back in the day. This racket here probably, like I said, like 1923, 1920s. With the brass ring, or with the not with the brass screw in it, but you can tell. Now this also probably had either cow or cat gut with it, probably cow gut, or maybe cat gut, sheep, made from sheep intestines. But this is probably cow or sheep gut, or called catgut back in the day. But that's probably what this was strung out of at the time, back in the day too. But it's a very good racket for that. And it's just, I was very lucky to be able to get it and to have it to this day, and to be able to show it to you, and still have a racket that is a very good racket to have in the collection that I have. Also, with that, like I said, you podcasters, if you want to see what I'm talking about with this racket, the Reliance, made by Wright Ditson Company, patent date 1923, which is really good. So if you want to see that, just go to my YouTube channel, subscribe, like, and you'll be able to see what I'm talking about for you podcasters out there. And you podcasters, if you want to leave that comment, let me know you're a podcaster that came over to take a look at it. It'd be kind of nice to know that you did. So I hope you do. And then you YouTubers, be sure and subscribe and like, and go to my channel, Tennis Volley Talk, also. But with that, that was the racket of the day, and I do thank you very much. Now everybody with this week also, they've had the Cincinnati tournament going on, been some very good playing going on there, and with that, everybody. This week, it looks like most of the week's going to be good. And then wherever you are, I hope it is good for the week so you can get out and still play lots of tennis and enjoy the week. And I do thank you very much, and get back to me and subscribe and like, make a comment of what you like, and let me know, because I always want to try to find out what I can do better with this, and be sure and just let me know. So I do thank you very much. Everybody get out there and enjoy the week of tennis, and have a good rest of the week and playing, and over the weekend too. Thank you, and have a good day.